brother, my sister, Lord God have mercy. Today we have so many different things to talk about. You can join me now on Facebook and also on YouTube. Our Facebook page is Xylophone 102.1 FM and our YouTube page is Xylophone Media. And we are live also on Xylophone TV. My brother, my sister, I am most excited to be with you. Lord God have mercy. Now let's kick start it like this. Now what is making the headlines all over the place is the story that broke in Ejura and how a young man was killed. Kaka. It came out that, my brother, my sister, there was a rioting. The police went in there, my brother, my sister, to deal with the situation. But before the police, the army was sent to go there. People were brutalized. And many people questioned the reason the army was brought in and not the police. Was it that bad? Did they need extra force? Kaka was killed. Was it because of his social media activism? Why was he really killed? A committee was set up. Now the committee has come out with a report. My brother, my sister, now let's listen to some of these things happening. I'm reading this, my brother, my sister, from City Newsroom. It's one of the most authentic news portals we have in Ghana. We take our news only from the authentic sites. My brother, my sister, hear me now. It says, Kaka's family has no right to question our work. And this is attributed to the utterances of Vladimir Enchidanson. And there's a handsome photograph of Vladimir Enchidanson right here. This one was published today, the 29th of September 2021. And I read. You remember the headline says, Kaka's family has no right to question our work. Vladimir Enchidanson. And I read. A member of the Justice Kumsin Committee that probed the Ejura disturbances, Mr. Vladimir Enchidanson, has chided the family of the late Ibrahim Muhammad, popularly known as Kaka, following its criticism of the committee's report. Mr. Enchidansu on Eyewitness News indicated that the family had no right to criticize the committee's work. They do not have the right to question us because they did not send us. We did the best of work and we do not owe anyone an apology. The work has been done meticulously, said Mr. Enchidansu. I'll leave it here. So you see, these are some of the arrogant people we have in this country. Listen to this guy, Vladimir Enchidanson. Listen to his utterances. So full of himself, so arrogant. Look at these people. And these are the people who criticize the president. These are the people who say Ghana is not moving forward, so Ghana must change. How would it change with your arrogant self? I personally listened to this guy, my brother, my sister, on TV. I think that was TV3 yesterday, last night. And a journalist was asking him on live TV via phone, Doc, please tell us, some people are not sharing or agreeing with what you have put out. And what did he say? How do you expect me to know the views of the people? I don't know what views you are talking about. This was what he said on TV. My brother, my sister. His name is, let me check the name again, Vladimir Enchidanson. Dr. Vladimir Enchidanson. And I hear this guy here is a lecturer in one of the universities here. I think University of Ghana also. Such arrogant people. How are they going to be able to bring up students with brains? These are the people who fail students by heart. these are the people who probably studied in some country around, maybe Russia, because if that name there, Vladimir, sounds more Russian to me than anything. For all you know, this guy studied in Russia, or maybe in Sweden, or some other country. And by the fact that he studied outside this country, he thinks that he's a demigod. And therefore, everybody should fear him. He is the wisest person on earth. So when he talks, nobody can question anything. Such arrogant people. Who is this guy? Somebody should wake me up from this nightmare. Dr. Vladimir Enchi Danso is his name. The way I listened to him speak to that journalist on TV yesterday, I was like, who is this arrogant guy? First and foremost, he was answering a call from a noisy place. Was he told by the TV station that he was going to be interviewed at that time? Why did he decide to grant the interview in a noisy place that disturbed the peace of the TV broadcast? And his first response was, how do you expect me to know the views of the people? That's what he said. So arrogant. I was just wondering, what kind of a guy is this? What's the problem? Such people, my brother, my sister, are those who cause us to move backwards. People like the president of Ghana, Nana Akufo-Addo, arrogant people who will never listen to the people who voted them into power. You have been taxed in a committee to come out with a certain report. Now you've come out with a report. If anything at all, you expect everybody to accept the report? If some people are questioning your report and you come out so arrogantly, I don't know what he drank or whatever. So arrogant, my brother, my sister. If students are failing, a lot of them will be failing because of arrogant guys like this. These are the kind of lecturers who you can never question. You raise your hand to ask a question and it's ready to bulldoze you down. These are the kind of lecturers, my brother, my sister, that I will never study under because they will teach me nothing but a lesson in arrogance. My brother, my sister, we have a problem in this country. Somebody's brother has been killed. There was a riot. So many other people fell victim in that riot. And the whole nation saw you as brainy people, wise people, to form a committee and be able to bring a certain kind of true reflection of what happened. And this is what a member of the board is saying. This is nauseous. This is terrible. Guys like this, if you don't walk up to them and tell them straight in their faces that, listen, you are an arrogant person. Such people, my brother, my sister, they believe that they are better than every other person. All because they studied in some Russia, some corner in Russia, or some corner in Sweden, or some other such country. My brother, my sister, the least said about this Vladimir Enchi Danso, the better. But this is what has always happened. We saw what happened when an MP was slapped left, right, and center by untrained national security boys during the last election. We all saw how those untrained national security boys were firing their rifles and guns all over the place with no common sense. And when a committee was set up to check out all these things, a lot of them confessed that they had very little training in anger management, very little training on how to even properly handle the gun. And these were the people guns were given to go to a polling station and maintain peace. For the first time, we saw Ghanaian soldiers wearing masks long before COVID-19 even came. And they were behaving like ninjas and mafias right there at the polling station. If you were not there to instill a certain kind of fear in the people, then what were you there for? We also saw Sam George took some hard slaps that broke his jawbone. My brother, my sister. And up till now, nothing happened to that guy. In fact, when the national security guy who slapped Sam George was even arraigned before the committee, he couldn't speak English. Why am I saying English? My brother, the medium of instruction, official medium of instruction in this country is English, right? We all have our problems when it comes to this. My brother, my sister, but he could not speak it. And I sit back and I wonder that how is he going to read and understand his operations as a national security person? Is he going to read in the language you were speaking there? Is he going to write in the language that he was speaking there? Look, let us come. It is a different day. And that different day, we shall talk about whether it still makes sense to hold on to the English language as our first language in this country, or adopted language in this country, or not. But as it stands right now, if you fail the English paper, you are not going to be able to qualify to go to the next class. True or false? In this country, you have to pass mathematics, you have to pass English language. That means we put a lot of value on these. So if a national security person who has been given a weapon that can end people's destinies is least educated, you give him these guns, all because they are party foot soldiers, to go and terrorize people so you can win your elections. To God be the glory. When the committee came up with a report, what did this arrogant government do? Arrogant like Dr. Vladimir Enchidanso. What did the arrogant government say? We are not accepting this report. Who paid for that report? Who paid that committee to sit and compile that kind of report? The taxpayer. The money is not from the president. When they sat down there and drank their tea and took their hefty monies away, my brother, my sister, it was us, me and you, the taxpayers, who paid for that. Arrogant government, led by his eminent sleepiness, Mr. Sleepydent, Nana Akufo-Addo, sent his information minister to come and spew garbage to us. What did he say? We accept 1, 2. The rest we don't accept. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We don't accept. Arrogantly. What kind of arrogance is this? Why is it that the moment these guys get power, they think that they are gods? Yet when they are looking for that power, they are as meek as sheep. The moment they grab the power, they become demons. I don't know why this Vladimir Enchidanso, my brother, my sister, thinks that he has so much effrontery, so much power to be this arrogant. I don't know him. I have never known him. I don't know where he is from. I don't know his accolades. I don't know what he has and what he doesn't have academically. But a guy like this is too arrogant to teach students. And I leave it here. Somebody has lost the brother. There was a riot. The whole country almost went up in flames. You have been trusted enough to have wits to sit back and compile a certain report that will put the country on a pedestal of peace. And arrogant guys like this are spewing nonsense and garbage. It tells us that it's still a long way from Jerusalem to Jericho. Let's think about it. We still have a long way. Now, to the family of Kaka, this was the committee that was supposed to be the savior committee. Right now, it has come out to be nothing but an arrogant piece of nonsense. Let us be patient. Let us watch out. Let us go through all the means and deal with this. But as for you, Dr. Vladimir Enchidanso, you are too arrogant. Watch how you talk. I don't know what you have that is making you so arrogant? I'm so angry with this guy. From last night when I listened to him on TV, he made the journalist so uncomfortable. And I doff my heart for that journalist, some Sakura-headed guy. You know, that same guy who was announcing the elections and was saying that, this party had won, only for it to come out and, things like that. That guy was made so uncomfortable by this guy. He wanted to put some fear in him, and he succeeded in a way, but he was able to maneuver his way through that interview. We don't need this. We don't need this. Some of these professors, they frighten the students in the schools so much so that when they get out of the school, they forget that they are out of the school. They want to use that kind of fear, fear mongering, to be able to discipline, in quotes, whoever they meet. You meet the wrong person sometimes. I'll leave it here. My brother, my sister, today we have a whole heap of things to talk about. And I'm going to look at it one after the other. How many of you have heard that R. Kelly has been found guilty? R. Kelly, Robert Kelly. R. Kelly has been found guilty. How many of you? My brother, my sister, next year by May, they say he would be sentenced. And as it stands, he stands a very huge chance of going to jail for several decades. Listen, several decades, as reported by the BBC and by CNN. My brother, my sister, I want us to draw a certain kind of inspiration from this. This is a huge superstar. He's made some world-charting songs. Some people use his songs to pray. Some other people use his songs to encourage themselves to climb to the next level. Some people saw him as a god. Some people worshipped him. And some, my brother, my sister, were ready to do almost everything he said do. But I tell you what R. Kelly did. R. Kelly has had over 30 different accusations when it comes to sexual misbehavior. From little girls all the way down to homosexuality. And even more. I tell you something. Now we all know that R. Kelly married Aaliyah at the age of 15, even in Ghana. That is still a huge minor. And he was able to pay for Aaliyah's certificate, marriage certificate, and all that to be altered. And it was said that she actually was 18 at the time that they were getting married, though she was 15. R. Kelly did that. At that time, R. Kelly was 27. Hear me now. Now, a lot of you who do what is known as hero worshiping, it's good to admire people. But when you admire them to the point that you are hero worshiping, whatever they do, you admire that, whether good or bad. Everything they do is good in your eyes. You have a problem. You have a big problem. Hear me now. R. Kelly, according to the reports that have come, did a lot of terrible things. He had a gang that had women, a lot of them, little girls, what we call minors, in captivity. And he had sex with them in very demeaning situations. All the girls were supposed to call him daddy. And if any one of them made a mistake and did not call him daddy, he punished them. How did he punish them? There was one woman who testified in court that R. Kelly made her smear feces on her face. Feces, pure shit, hot shit. Was naked and performing a certain demeaning sexual act. And R. Kelly videoed this person. A guy who gave his name as Luis said he was at McDonald's serving food and selling when R. Kelly came there to buy something. And he slipped his phone number into his palm. Later when he called, they met in his studio And he asked the young boy, who at that time was only about 15 or 16, said, you can sing good, you're singing good, but what would you do for music? Listen, what would you do for music? Before Louis could answer, R. Kelly had already knelt down and unbelted his trousers and started giving him socky dicky. In other words, oral sex, man to man. He said R. Kelly, my brother, my sister, would bring in a chain of girls and ask him to have sex with them whilst he videoed whatever was happening. He was a king of blackmail, according to the reports coming in. My brother, my sister, why am I taking you through all these lengthy journeys? It's very simple. In our country, we don't seem to look at how people conduct themselves personally. In our country, we don't seem to care about the means. We are only interested in the end. Let me break it down. In our country, my brother, my sister, it doesn't matter how you get the money. It is only important to ask that you have the money. That is why armed robbers are becoming church elders. And that is why thieves can become presidents. That is why people with no certificates are doctors. The last certificate they had, even with 7 different fail, 9 or 7, like Dr. Nkunim, are doctors. Somebody who does not have a proper SHS certificate is a medical doctor. He has certificates from some of the authorities, because a lot of our authorities are sleeping. My brother, my sister, all the world was interested in was that R. Kelly made good music, and they paid for the music. They paid to support him. When his cases came out, one after the other, a lot of them were thrown out, and a lot of them too, he settled out of court. Today, my brother, my sister, where he has reached, I wonder how many people will support his music anymore. It's the same thing we have in this country. And our country is even worse. When it comes out that a certain person that we've all supported and keep supporting is this bad, we don't care. We still go ahead to support these people. When South Africa was killing other Africans, in South Africa, slaughtering them like dogs on the streets of Joburg, slaughtering them on the streets of Soweto. My brother, my sister, South African companies were still thriving night and day in this country. Nobody mooted the argument that let us start boycotting South African products. When people know that they can be this bad without any repercussions, my brother, my sister, our attitudes never change. When people know that they can be this terrible without any repercussions, my brother, my sister, there is a free fall of indiscipline. Somebody won't understand. Look, in the West, when everybody knows that they have to live a responsible life, without which they would face a certain kind of repercussion, everybody at least tries to behave like a human being. Not in our country. We litter all over the place. We shit almost everywhere. People live in kiosks. I just heard that the census that they just finished, that 20% of Ghanaians live in kiosks. 20%, they live in kiosks. The kiosks have no toilets. I'm yet to see one kiosk in Ghana that has a urinary, let alone a toilet. Yet 20% of the population lives in kiosks. You know what that means? They shit in the gutters. They shit on the pavements. They pee all over the place. That is why wherever you pass in Accra and beyond, it's like you are walking in a urinary. It's like you are walking in a lavatory. It's like, my brother, my sister, you are having a baptismal of pure hot shit. 20% of all Ghanaians, 35 million Ghanaians or so, 20% of them live in kiosks. There are no fire extinguishers in those kiosks. No water is flowing to that kiosk. But they have a way of connecting electricity to all those kiosks. Every now and then there is a fire outbreak, and they blame it on Mahama that he set those places on fire. To be a fire officer in this country is a curse, because people live like fools. And every now and then they blame it on the fire service people. Especially if you have a dumb fire service boss like the one that we have right now, who would go all the way to put out the fire with no water in the tank, as if they were going to use air. Oh, they have some other things that they just put the tap there and then it comes. They go and they say, oh, water company did not pump water into this. So it's a fight between fire service and water company. They are fighting at each other, such fools. How would the country develop? Idiots. The whole building is on fire, and fire service boss sends his fire people to go there. That they even sent helicopters to go up there flying to survey what? Blood clot. Look at the fire that happened recently. Huh? Right there at the marketplace there. My brother, my sister, fire service boss said that they have a certain fire tender, whatever they call it, and they're supposed to water hydrant. They would have to they have to go there without water. Once the water hydrant is there, they connect it and water starts coming and they fire. Such fools. And when they went there, there was no water there. Now they started blaming water service people, water company, that they had sold the water that was supposed to go to the fire people. Listen, water company sold the water that was supposed to be used to put off fire. And fire service boss is still there. The idiot is still sitting and he's in power. And the sleepy president does not care. How would the country grow, my brethren? How do you expect it to grow? Your tongues cannot change this country. Your going to the mosque cannot change this country. The only thing that can change this country is common sense. God has given you common sense. He will not descend with his angels to put off the fire. God has given you common sense. He will not descend from heaven to come and put water in the water hydrant. The guy is still in power. The guy is still in power. Your national security boss is still in power. After modeling in front of a cheap prostitute's camera. Babies with sharp teeth who were nothing before this sleepy president became president are now making money. They are buying houses at riverfronts, a fleet of cars, and sleeping with horse all over the place. Nobody cares. After all, the money is not their money, it's our money. How can a nation develop? How is it going to develop? Today, R. Kelly, my brother, my sister, has proven that he's a monster. An illiterate monster. With all the money that he had, he never bothered to be lettered. This is too deep for somebody. With all the money he had, he never bothered to be lettered. He remained illiterate. To the point that when court letters even came, he couldn't read. He thought they were bills. Water bill, electricity bill, gas bill. So he put it down, waiting for his lawyer to come and read. He couldn't read. He had a bevy of minor beauties that he had sex with night and day. He infected a lot of them with herpes and different diseases. And he knew intentionally that he had this and he was giving it out. He beat women night and day. If this was Ghana, this guy would go free. But in America, they held him. If this was South Africa, all South Africans would have boycotted this guy. After all, they even put their former president behind bars, Jacob Zuma. When is Nana Addo going to jail? When are they going to put Mahama behind bars? When are they going to put Kufuor behind bars? Check them up and let's find out what they have done. Have they stolen anything? Have they made people worse? If the answer is yes, gold them. Gold them. Nobody is too big for the jailhouse. The jailhouse is a house for everybody. Let's give it a certain kind of dignity. Let's not mash it up because you don't know where you might go. My brother, my sister, to R. Kelly, shame unto you. You are a shameless brat. You are a disgrace to my race. To R. Kelly, I'm going to check my computer. All your songs that I have, I will delete all of them and put them in the fire. To R. Kelly, you are a disgrace to musicians. And to all the young ladies that he raped. To all the young men he sodomized. Oh my God. Imagine R. Kelly said, I will help you to let your music grow. Come, give me sex. And then you end up becoming a sex slave. The report is nasty. Even before going on stage to sing, he would have a number of girls that he would pick from the audience, have sex with them backstage before this guy would go on stage. We have such artists in Ghana, don't we? Those artists who sit on Instagram and show their nakedness and misbehave, males and females, they all do that. Are you going to get wiser? That you start boycotting them one after the other. That way our country shall become a little disciplined. Yes. If we all had boycotted South African products, next time they want to attack Ghanaians, they will think. But no. You allow the South African ambassador to tell you what? Make your country better. Fix your country so your people will stop running to our fixed country. Listen, the South African ambassador who just left, what did she say? At the wake of the violence, xenophobic attacks in South Africa, what did she say? She said, oh, fix your country, Ghana. If you fix your country, your people would stop running to our fixed country. And all they do is to parade idiots sitting there and say, we are fixing the country. We are fixing the country. When your president is buying a big jet so he can fly around on his begging sprees, what country are you fixing? When potholes have now graduated into manholes. Right now when it rains, even 1 centimeter, no, 1 millimeter of rain, it washes the road as if it was raining acid. Crime has increased. These days when we are walking, your shadow even frightens you. Crime. Crime. Nana Akufo-Addo's government has brought more crime into this country than in has Kosovo. Kosovo. Those of you have heard about Kosovo. Guantanamo Bay. Kosovo. There's more crime and criminality in Ghana now than ever before. True or false? If I'm lying, please just say it. You can comment and say you are lying, Blakk Rasta. There is more crime in Ghana now than ever. There is more crime in Ghana right now than ever. Kidnapping, fake pregnancies, armed robberies in broad daylight. Bankers are telling armed robbers who has come to cash what and what road they are taking. Policemen are freeing prisoners for sex. They have sex with prisoners and open the prison gates for them to go hook, line, and sinker. Jesus have mercy. Quack doctors are parading our streets night and day, raping our beautiful women night and day. Politicians are stealing. It's like Ali Baba and the 40 thieves. That is the government in power. My brother, my sister, we need to open our eyes. And I want to share this with you in just 1 minute. My brother, do not support foolishness. In America, look, I tell you a personal story. When I went to lecture in America, hear me. The university wrote to me and said, we have heard that you have supported Mugabe before. In our opinion, and the opinion of our country, Mugabe is a very terrible man, and blah, blah, blah. For that matter, this university may not be able to accept you to come and lecture our students. Listen. So I wrote back to them and said, well, I supported Barack Obama too. And Barack Obama shook hands with me, even though he knew that I supported Mugabe. So if you are saying that your country stands by the fact that Mugabe was nothing but a terrorist, Obama knew, but he embraced me, shook hands with me, and endorsed me. Take your decision. At the end of the day, reason came to play. My brother, my sister, there are some countries I'm going to, and already, either at the airport or even at the embassy, they start asking me about some of my utterances. I defend them. If they want, they allow me in. If they don't want, I go away. I will not sell out because of my opinions. What point is Blakk Rasta making? If we also start questioning people's behaviors and utterances, our country would be a little disciplined. A porn star is coming into this country. A porn star who intentionally gave HIV/AIDS to ladies on the porn set is coming to Ghana. And they are giving students holiday to come out and meet the porn star because it's rich. A terrorist, my brother, my sister, in one country is coming here, and we don't question anything. We support everybody. Every kind of foolishness can pass. How are we going to grow? In some countries, right at the airport, they clap you down and send you back. Countries have banned so many different people from entering their country. Farrakhan was banned from the UK and some other countries. But in our country, tell me one person who has ever been banned from coming here. Osama bin Laden can resurrect and come into this country and open a tea shop at Laboni. And criminals will go and sit there and drink tea and laud him and say, hey, Allahu Akbar. My brother, Alpha Conde, the old dying president, can come to Ghana and they would make him co-president. After all, his sleepy twin is also in power. Cameroonian Paul Biya can come into this country and they will give him asylum and even build him a whole mansion next to the cathedral and feed him 1 million times a day. After all, his twin brother is in power. This country is a country of garbage. Any garbage can come into this country. Nobody cares. Nobody checks out their credentials. Nobody cares about what they believe in, what their attitudes are, whether they are detrimental to our people or not. No, sir. They unleash every garbage on us, and when the damage is done, then they sit back and say, we should have known. We all are behaving like the proverbial vulture. It never ends. Chinese can come here, rape the little girls here, destroy our environment. And yet, when we want to punish them, sleepy ignoramus, all sickly politicians, my brother, osafo mafo, and those people will come out and say, oh, if we punish them, it's not going to give us money, you know. If we punish this person, how is that going to give us money? Please, free Atai, free all those criminals, free them, because jailing them did not give us money. It rather took money from us. This guy is still in power. He retired and came back again from retired. This man has retired more than 6 times. At 89, what can you offer us in terms of whatever? He's still there. And that is the president's advisor. If this guy, Osafo Mafo, is the advisor to the president, why wouldn't they buy a private jet? Why wouldn't they be taking their shower in the skies? Why would all those thieves around them be stealing night and day? Why wouldn't your elections have marked soldiers firing shots as if they were having a jamboree? Jesus have mercy. Please, let's speak truth to power. I want to see a better country. I don't want to see a useless country. I want to see a country that has a heartbeat, not a dead goat country. No, sir. Think about it, brethren. Think about it seriously. Or else, our country is gradually slumping into nothingness. And that's not what we are bargained for. I'll leave it here. I'm going to tackle the last thing, and I think I'll be done for the day. And this one I'm reading from Graphic Online. It says, Owusu Bempa's aide arrested. Interesting. Owusu Bempa is the president's prophet. He's a man that a lot of people admire. He was my classmate at Tiamade Secondary School, Kumasi. This is him. Owusu Bempa's aide arrested. And this one was published today, the 29th day of September 2021. Those of you who do not know Owusu Bempa, Reverend Owusu Bempa, he allegedly gave a stool, a certain chair, to the president, that wherever he goes, he should sit on it. It's a spiritual chair. And allegedly, the president has bought a whole V8 for that chair alone. No other person sits in it apart from the driver and the chair. And wherever the president goes, that chair goes. He will not sit on any chair. So when the president is looking for a private jet, you know that he's looking for a space for his magic chair, right? Another thing is, he gave the president a horn. Hey, producer, put up that photograph of Reverend Owusu Bempa giving that horn to the president. I don't have a problem. I have a problem when it causes waste. Anyway, let us read what it is. Owusu Bempa's aide arrested, and says, a man believed to be an aide to Reverend Isaac Owusu Bempa, the head pastor of the Glorious Word Power Ministries International, Accra, has been arrested. The suspect, Bright Birchie, 30, who was wanted by the police, is said to have been seen in a viral video brandishing a weapon and is issuing threats of death to police officers and other persons. So that's the photograph. Him giving this weird horn. I would love to have that horn as well. He's giving it to the president. And I think every morning the president anoints his head with this oil. After all, the Bible says your head shall be anointed. He anoints it. And then that oil makes him not to listen to anybody in Ethiopia, like Muhammad said when he was in power. Ethiopia, I'm a dead goat, and I won't listen to anybody. Such arrogant talk. Today you are in opposition. You want to be president again. I just want to believe that you've learnt your lessons the very hard way. When you said you were a dead goat, some of us pounced on you. You thought we were your enemies. But we are a friend to Ghana and an enemy to everybody who is un-Ghanaian. Let's take it like that. I read a statement signed by the acting Director General of the Public Affairs Directorate of the Ghana Police Service, ACP Kwesiofori, indicated that Bechi faces charges of threats of death, offensive conduct, and the possession of a firearm without lawful authority. And his photograph is there. He's now looking humble. This was the guy who was brandishing that pistol and was saying in that viral video that if anyone touched his prophet Owusu Bempah, Father, we will kill you in this country and nothing will happen. That the laws of this country do not work. I will fire, we will kill, we will beat you. Nothing will happen. The law doesn't work. That's what he said. And when his father was arrested, he ran away. These are the Judases of the kingdom. You are trying to save your father, protect him, and stand by him. Now your father has been arrested and you are running away. Till now. Judas. This is Judas. Modern day Judas. That's him. Judas. When Judas was following Jesus Christ and telling Jesus Christ how much he loved him, what happened? He sold him for 30 pieces of silver. And he even went ahead to plant a kiss on his cheek to show the people that this is the man that I sold. That is the Christ. He said, And when some other of the disciples was trying to say, hey, me, I will not do that. I say, hey, tomorrow by this time, you shall deny me 3 times. Jesus, how did I go into the Bible? But this is Judas. Now he's been arrested. We'll let the law work. He said the law doesn't work. Let us begin with him and let the laws work. As for Reverend Owusu Bempah, by virtue of the fact that he was my classmate and a man of God that I respect, I want to believe that his experience with this government and the police would have calmed his nerves a little bit, because he made utterances that were overboard. And well-meaning people should condemn that. See, for a policeman to arrest him in this country over the bar. And I said, classmate, what are you teaching your boys? To be lawless? That no policeman can arrest you? The way you respect your office as a man of God, respect the policeman's office as a policeman. His duty is to arrest you when you fault. So for you to say, no policeman can arrest you over the bar, no. The horn you gave the president did not stop you from going and be, to the police station. And when he was sick, they took him to the hospital. They chained him. They chained him to the bed. My brother, my sister, I was terrible. But I want to feel that the laws are beginning to work. Let the laws work. If I fall foul to the law, let the laws take their course. My brother, my sister. So he's been arrested. We'll leave him here, and then we will see what happens next. How many of you heard about the lawyers' examinations? Those who wrote the Ghana Bar, whatever, examinations. How many percent failed? Almost 80%, right? Now there's a headline here. I'm not going to tackle it. 65% of lawyers called to Gambia Bar are Ghanaians who failed entrance exams. Hear this now. They are saying that Ghanaians who go to write and fail at the law school, they are those the Gambian people take and they become their lawyers. So my question is, when the failures go to Gambia and become lawyers there, are they fit to practice in Ghana? 65% of lawyers called to Gambia Bar are Ghanaians who failed entrance exams. This is attributed to the SRC president. So if 65% of all these guys wearing those funny things on their heads have failed, failed, and they go to Gambia and they take them, and then they become lawyers there, can they return to Ghana and practice as lawyers? If the answer is yes, and the yekoya na say baye, I leave it here. What I really want to tackle is this one, and I'll do it for only about 4 minutes, and we are done, or even less. Jesus have mercy. Let me deal with this quickly before that one. Have you seen some celebrities posing with iPhone 13? Have you seen that in Ghana? How many of you have seen that? I've seen somebody holding, I think, Nana Banamoa or, Agrada. Some other people. iPhone 13. Oh, Jesus. I wish I would not make a comment. Please, instead of posing with iPhone 13, pose with Jata Cement. Instead of posing with iPhone 13, which puts money in the pockets of foreigners who have nothing to do with us, please find a made in Ghana product and pose with it. Instead of posing with iPhone 13, please pose with GTP. Pose with a Ghanaian fabric, a dinkra. Pose with kente. Pose with the Ghanaian products that are struggling to get a certain kind of feature. Are we cursed or what? It's now a new fashion for you to have iPhone 13. I don't even know what this iPhone is. iPhone 13, iPhone 100, iPhone 6 million. And you'll be shocked the price of this thing that they are posing with. How would the Ghanaian phone companies make money? Those that Shatawale and Stoneboy are holding around, how would they make money? Those who claim to support you are holding iPhone 13. You see the lack of common sense? You see? You see? They pause in Gucci and Gabbana. They pause in Dior. They pause in things. Adidas and the rest. GTP is dying. ATL dead. Yet the painful thing is that when they are looking for ambassadors, these are the fools they go for. When they are looking for ambassadors, these are the fools they go for. These are the fools they go for. The people who don't support them. Just because they have had one concert and some 6 mosquitoes attended the concert, they come and be an ambassador. Then they clap, they cut a tape, and then they give them money to go and fool about. Those of us who have worn African attire from when we were not even born, they never find us. How would they find you? Where? Where are you? They would find you if you are holding iPhone 13. They would find you if you are wearing. Recently, who was the artist? They chose to push made in Ghana, whatever. When these artists are those, my brother, my sister, who are wearing the latest Gucci, the latest Adidas, the latest whatever, they don't know what it means to say Akosombo Textiles. They don't know what is GTP. They don't know what is Agbada. For them to wear an Agbada is like a prison uniform. For them to wear, my brother, my sister, ATP, ATL, to wear GTP is a prison uniform. It's for old men and women. But when they are looking for ambassadors, these are the guys they go for. Be wise. I leave it here. Finally, just under 1 minute. I'm reading this sad news, and I'm glad I'm ending with that. It says, doctor was asleep. Ambulance delayed before he died. Nana Mpedu's family. How many of you remember Nana Mpedu? Oh my boy, some of the best high life melodies came from him. I remember when in 2012 he knelt down before Nana Akufo-Addo and said that God had sent him to tell Nana Akufo-Addo that he was going to be president that December. It was one of the reasons it made me not like the man too much, but we sorted it out later. May he rest in peace. I respect him. I love him. My brother, Nana Akufo-Addo never became president that December. That prophecy never happened. This was a die-hard fan of the NPP. He sang songs for the NPP. It is sad that he did not die in the cathedral. When we are talking about building hospitals and all those, you want a cathedral. One ambulance is supposed to serve 6 million people. So when they call the ambulance, 6 other people have called the ambulance. Oh, we are carrying somebody. When we arrive, we'll come. Before they come, I leave it here. May his body, mind and soul rest in perfect peace. Or my boajo, or my boajo, or my boajo. Well, my name is Blakk Rasta. I want to say thank you so much for coming along with me on this very, very, very precious journey of Pan